And we are live. Here we go. Here we go. Everyone, let's get ready to rumble. We had the 2024 first presidential debate happen this evening. So I wanted to I started to maybe just started recording some videos and started doing it. And it's just, unless I'm going live, it's just like, what's the point? I feel much more comfortable just being live. Otherwise, I'm just way overthink it. And it just does not turn out well. Does not turn out well for me, and I know especially it does not turn out well for you. So I'd rather much just go with it. Let the cards fall where they may. Okay, so this is just the video portion of the live stream, just to get things up and going. But while I'm going, I am going to actually get the podcast on. I'm gonna start recording, because that is what will live in infamy. Actually, that's just what will live forever. The podcast, as in the recording of the video that we'll be shooting out to all the various networks. The various networks that are out there. So, and I wanted to let you all in so you can see me as I get it rolling. This isn't the conventional way, and I understand that this is not conventional, but we shatter the mold of conventionality. Throw conventionalism out the window. I hate conventionalism. I do not like that. It's just predictable. It's boring. I do not like boring, And I'm assuming whoever's hopped in, because it's almost midnight. Actually, it's just only 11:30, But when you're young, you know how to get down. You know how to get down and get frisky, So here we go. Let's just see what I can get going. I hope the audio is coming through perfectly clear. Are we clear? Are we clear? All right, so this will actually be so you can see kind of how things roll on what I see, and getting things up and going. And it's messy. We keep it messy around here. We do not like things nice, tidy, and neat. No, that's boring. That's boring, But you can cross the line. It's easy to cross the line, and I am always testing that line, There's that thin red line, and it's like I'm always up against it, I'm always up against it, But we ain't never scared. We ain't never scared, I wanted to do this one about the presidential debate, and I'm going to kind of talk about that as we get going. But, let's see if I can walk and chew gum at the same time. All right, so we are going to do, I'll let you just see the nitty gritty, get down and dirty. I'm going to show you, you can just see what I do when I'm going to post this. We're going to go live. We're going to try to go live on the podcast itself, just so you can see kind of what happens when I do that kind of stuff. And I was going to, actually, I saw this just a bit ago. I was going into this, and it's like, Podbean, they're like, you should keep things more uniform and things more recognizable with your brand, not go all over the map, calm it down a bit, it kind of hurt my heart a little bit, but I better actually instead of just keep talking. But I wanted to do this right here because, I like doing things on the fly. I don't like, because I tend to overthink things if I'm not live, Otherwise, I'm just like this, that, and I just hear myself going over and over. But if I'm live, you can't undo live. I live in the live, so that's how I like to be, There's not as much control in the live. You kind of just, we live life. We live life, and we love it. Live it to the full. Okay, what we gonna call this podcast? If I had where I had the ability to see right now, whenever I actually get into the podcast, I can't actually see people. If people were to hop in, I maybe let you see that behind the scenes. But it is late night. I'm just gonna jibba jabba because I'm just gonna kind of talk your ear off. I'm sure. Without I'm gonna try to get you substance, if anybody can hang in there for that. But all right, what are we gonna call this? 20. I'll do the same one that I'm doing the live stream as for first 2024 presidential debate. Did you all see it? Who out there watched it? Some people might. I don't want to give it away. You don't want to spoil it. If people might have recorded it. You never know. Until the NFL starts, this is all we got. No, I guess there's baseball and basketball just finished, and hockey is somewhere happening. I love hockey and I want to get into hockey so much, but it's just like it's tough. we don't have a team in Kansas City, and I need a team in Kansas City, and I want and desire eagerly a team in Kansas City, basketball and hockey, both the things. So I don't know if I always get paranoid, man, when I keep thinking, is sound quality coming through? I don't know. All right, what are we gonna describe this as? This is just, we'll just call it hee-haw. Hee-haw. Or yee-haw. Hee-haw. Okay, maybe we'll call it what sounds better? Hee-haw or yee-haw? Hee-haw. I don't know. I'm just thinking because like whenever I actually publish it, then you can, I'll give you a little secret, AI helps tremendously in getting wording to actually cohesiveness and flow and thought structure so that it makes sense. Otherwise, it comes out as hee-haw, I don't know. That if it was left up to me, it would be hee-haw, yee-haw, and bangarang Rufio. I don't know. That's how it goes. We'll just call it hee-haw for now. Actually, that might be really confusing. If somebody actually saw that, that might throw them off completely. I need a mute button, so when I do my obnoxious sounds, you all don't hear those. Okay, we'll just call it Trump and Biden square off for rematch of the century. Centuria, my. Centurion, my. Yeah. Gothic Century. If anyone gets that one. Or Century Gothic. Font. If you know, you know. I'm gonna be throwing out things. If you know, you know. You know. Okay. Let's just do that. We'll just go with that. I'm gonna accept these cookies. Yum 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 yum. All right, we're gonna go public, unlisted, explicit. We might get explicit. I don't know. But or whenever I actually do this, we're gonna hop into our room. Woo. That's not to do that. Okay, you don't need to see that. Okay, let's just move right along. This is what I've talked about in other previous videos. Like when I tried to go, I think when I last did my, why don't I just start it? Instead of just yeehaw on it? All right, here. You all get to witness the behind the scenes obnoxious sounds that come out of my body and all that. I'm sure there is a mute button over here, but we don't need that. We do it raw around here. Raw, WWE raw, Okay, all right, let's just do it. Let's just go. Together, we will launch. All right, we are. Let's see if it kicks off. I don't know. Let's see if the internet can. Do I want to share? Oh, it's asking me, do I want to share? Y'all already know I'm out there. To get better sound quality, avoid echo. Okay, don't remind me of this again. I've said don't remind me of this again. So like every time. But okay, now it's actually gonna do it. I'm not gonna share. I'm just gonna go. And here we go. We are on the air. You all witness it. We are on the air, legit on the air. Actually, I'm gonna move this over. You cannot see that. We are on the air. You can see it right here. I don't know if you all see my cursor out there, and it's not me cursing, but my cursor. We are on the air. All right, now this is what is actually going to be documented and will live on for ages and live in infamy, The presidential 2024 debate happened tonight. It is June 27th, I think. Yeah, June 27th. And former President Trump and President Biden squared off once again. And they went out, guns blazing, both of them. They were on fire. Both of them were like in their own way, they're definitely different. I think Trump was a lot more reserved and held back a lot because, I don't know. Really, the people that I talk to, I don't know anybody that likes Trump. Seriously, the people that I actually talk to, and family, friends, and everything like that, I don't think anybody likes Trump. Nobody likes Trump, it seems like. But I think he's just somebody that's, if you're vocal and talking about it, nobody wants to admit that they like him because, I guess the individual himself, he A lot of people just see him as proud and really hard to accept, and just like they just do not like it at all. They do not like what he brings to the table. But I think on the opposite end, Biden is just more like, I don't know. You get a lot of sympathy and empathy for him just because of the things when he, especially even today, if you saw the debate, and he did struggle through things. There were things that he was struggling with, wording, as you know, and I struggle with words. You know, everybody struggles with has their things. But he's not always been like that. If you are anybody and have been into politics or even just lived in the last 20 years, or even more. So I'm just thinking about myself, but he's always been a person that was always fiery, like even with like when he was vice president for President Obama, he was fiery. And like, man, like I remember him in the debates against, who would it have been? I don't know. It was when he was actually like having the debate in his vice presidential debates. I don't even know who he was going up against, but it was a girl. I think it was a girl. Was it Palin? I don't know. I don't remember, but I just remember he was very good. Like he was very intense, and he got like, he's done it a long time. He has he's very political, he's very political, and he's been in politics for a long time. He knows what he's doing in that sense. I think he's just, at ages, Father Time has wore on him. I'm sure it's gonna wear on me a lot sooner than probably him. I can already feel the age creeping up myself. But they are both about the same age. I think Trump might be a few years younger than him. I don't know. I think it did say that Trump, if he did serve another 4 years as president, he would be 82 in his last year. So I'm guessing that means he's 78 if my math skills are working properly. And I don't know. I think Biden might be 80 around something this time, but they are both up there, but they are definitely different, as in like Trump, he seems like he can like put sentences together faster. He's much quicker to think on his feet, much quicker to answer what his and he's still able to give those fiery zingers, and everything like that. He definitely, I think he held back a lot in today's debate. I think he held back a lot, and I think that's a lot of advisors explaining to him, because I remember his first debate against Biden in 2020, and I think that like almost sealed the deal with people the way because they were just like little children going at each other, and I think people have more sympathy for Biden just for various reasons, but like he completely turned off Trump completely turned off a lot of voters just by, he was very impetuous and just responding and just like it was very intense. I just remember coming into work like the day after and just people talking about it and just people just completely just having no desire or taste for Donald Trump, and maybe that's just like instinctually. I think unless you're in like with a very comfortable crowd that like is all MAGA or something like that, people are very hesitant to vocalize any support for Donald Trump because, man, I mean, he will get you in trouble if you are supportive of him, and I think a lot of people I think there's a lot of quiet voters out there. I think a lot of people will vote for Trump, but a lot of people will not say they're voting for Trump. That's my personal opinion. But really, I mean, just family and friends for me, I think there is a lot of people out there that my neck of the woods, not many people like Trump whatsoever, just the Trump as the person. But then on the other hand, a lot of people do not like Biden, but it's more Biden as the policy. Biden as the person, I think people have more of a taste for. It's his policy and what he's done to almost wreck this country and destroy it in a lot of ways. I had a lot of hope for Biden whenever he came into office. I actually I remember watching his inaugural when he accepted, or when I guess not accepted, but when he was sworn in and everything like that, and he became president. I had a lot of hope for Biden and his whole push on unity and that he was going to change things and how things operate in our country. And like he did give an awesome hopeful message. And since then, it went like maybe up a little bit, and then it just plummeted horrendously. He like just the way the economy and not just the economy, but just the whole like everything about America. It just seems like everything's going in the wrong direction. I mean, extremely in the wrong direction. And I think it's just getting worse and worse. In a lot of ways. But that's not to say that Trump is going to just go in there and turn it all around. I don't know. I For me personally, whenever Trump was in office, I liked it at the beginning whenever he became president, but like towards the end of his first term, I think it was just a lot of things I was maybe going through. I think you have your own personal life, and then you project that into whatever you're watching and whatever you want to happen to kind of line up and things to play out. And I wasn't too desirous of Trump having a second term. I really, almost in my heart, like I kind of wanted a change. I didn't really want it to happen. And then like whenever he didn't win, I was actually completely shocked myself. I was absolutely shocked when he won the first time in 2016. I was more shocked there. I did not think he was going to win whatsoever, but I was also extremely shocked in 2020 when he lost, because I thought it was like there was not even going to be a question. I thought he was going to win just based on the economy and how things were going. I think it had stuff to do with like kind of where I was at in my life, and I didn't want things to keep going that same way I just wanted some type of change, and that change happened. And I think it's just tough because honestly, things did get better for me personally in ways after Biden got elected, but also I just see the outside world of just like how things are, the weakness that is being happening in our country and just long term. And I just think that inflation is just through the roof. People cannot the hopefulness of people my age. I'm a millennial, and just even people younger than that. Like there is very low probability that having a home and buying a home and getting into a home, if it's like almost out the window. It's like something that is like a pipe dream at this point for a lot of people, just because of the way that inflation has just taken off. The rates are going through the roof to try to kind of get it under control. And just the direction it's heading. I don't know if it's ever going to come back to the point where have the American dream, as in some people wanting to get in on buying a house. It's almost like we are becoming renters. That is like almost the way that people are going now, because it's just because they've made it so the generations before us, and I love the generation before us, obviously, and people that are after me are going to say the same thing about me, but it's like, and a lot of people that personally, they don't have a hand in it, but it's just we are just going along with the current of the river and the way the direction we're headed. But like the generation before us, and like they have spent this thing to oblivion. We do not have money. Is like I do not think money is ever going to get under control again, where people have trust in the dollar and that is worth saving anything, because the value of everything you save is just diminishing extremely quickly every day. There's I don't see it ever getting under control again, and I almost in that sense, me personally, I am liberal, because I'm freaking spend the heck out of it. I don't care. I don't we are over 30 trillion and counting, billions and billions of dollars each day that are added to the debt. It's not even a possibility that we could get that under control again, So it's it's only going to spiral out of control. So it's I don't know. I remember when I was in college, and it was probably around, I'm thinking around 2006 ish, around that time frame. I went longer than that, but I just remember at that point when I was introduced to the debt in the first place, it was I was like, man, that's kind of crazy. We're at 5 trillion in debt. That's kind of nuts. And it's from 2006 ish to now, 6 trillion to now over $30 trillion in debt and counting. I haven't even looked at the debt. I mean, it'd probably depress you if you go to the debt calculator and just see it, just like how much money it's. I still don't even understand the debt. I do not understand what is even happening. Like, why do we owe all these people this much money? I don't know. How do we owe these people this much money? You know, how do you owe somebody $1 trillion? And it's like, do we owe China this? Is that, I always think, or we owe China, or is it just entitlements that we have things that we just have to pay off? It's becoming comical, as in the debt. I don't even know. Do you all understand it? If you do, put it in the comments, put it in the comments, and you can comment in my stream, it will be pushed out to YouTube and everything like that. The podcast, it's a different story. I don't think you can really comment on podcasts and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I think you can go and rate them and all that kind of stuff. Give me a 5-star, I don't, but like, comments and everything, maybe you can do that at YouTube. YouTube is where the comments happening. There's a lot of venues and platforms that you can just go on and just like speak your mind, and anybody, like people that come and like comment on the things that I've done, I find it amazing and fantastic. And I'm very thankful for everyone that does that. It's awesome to just hear who is on the other end of listening to what I'm speaking, and just and to get to know you. So if as much as you can comment and interact in any way possible, I love that. I'm very thankful for all anybody who's in there hanging into the words that I say, and I really appreciate that. I'm really thankful for that. But what are your views? What do you think about the presidential election coming up? I've said in previous videos, I do not even know, honestly, if I am of the mindset that the election's going to happen. I'm still like, with the way that things have, as in the Justice Department has just been unleashed upon the current occupying presidential, person, Biden, that he has just unleashed his Justice Department onto his political opponent is just insane to me. And that if they would go to that length to do that, to try to just discredit and do everything like that possible to his political rival, maybe just pretend that you're making it fair, that you want it to be fair and everything like that, I hope SWAT doesn't just come in here, and just take me off there, but that could happen, people get swatted, and a lot, I guess you gotta have a little bigger of a voice, a bigger of a microphone before that's going to start happening. But that does happen, and I think it has a lot to do with people calling in and just that happen, but I'm just talking, but you shouldn't be scared of your own government, especially in America, and that's like the difference, I wouldn't be scared. Like I wouldn't, and I'm not scared, but I wouldn't even that wouldn't even be a thought that would cross my mind if Trump was in office. But with Biden, it's like, I don't know, man, if he's doing that much out in the open, and it's like that accepted by the majority of people that are listening, and the majority of people that have power and that have a voice and that are on the major networks, and it's that accepted that he can just do that, like against the guy that is on the other end, at the other stand that he's like debating with. And it's just like, if he can do that to him, it's like, what chance in the world would I stand, and it's like, I think that's the difference between are you gonna kind of feel a little bit more comfortable? I don't think Trump would do that and unleash his Justice Department again. And then he didn't do that, I know he said lock her up with Hillary Clinton, but at the end of the day, he got in office and he didn't pursue that. He went to business and tried to do everything he could to work on the country, but like the current administration is doing a lot of that. They're spending a lot of time and energy as in keeping his political rival occupied in courtrooms and everything like that. And it's just kind of crazy to me. But like, if you watch the debate, there was a lot of things that happened. They covered so many different topics. I thought the CNN moderators, I thought they did a good job. What do you all think? Did you think that they did a good job? I thought they were pretty straight and they did not lean one way or the other. Like there were a couple times that Biden was struggling to get something out, and they kind of helped him a little bit. But I mean, that first time, whenever he was like struggling to say what he was wanting to say, I mean, it's just like you immediately feel bad. Like I'm sure like some people out there see me talking and I can't communicate, and they're like, "Man, I feel bad for this guy," you know. But I felt bad for Biden, and it's like immediately, you know, it's kind of because he is like a grandpa, you know. It's like that's how you feel, and you're like, oh, man, like, so you get that immediate sympathy for him. So, and I think they saved him on a couple things. They were. So I thought they were pretty equal back and forth between Biden. They were obviously with Trump. They gave him some more pushback on things, and they kept. I think they're just inherently biased in a sense, but I think they covered it pretty well. I think that they are obviously they are biased and for the Democrat Party and for Biden and him winning, but then at the same token, I kind of go back and forth. Like I do not know if they really want in their heart of hearts Biden to win, because I mean if Biden wins again, you know, like we're gonna keep going this direction in the spiral way, like kind of down, and like the value of our currency just going down and further down. And then also like I think the CNN and also the major networks out there, it's kind of a boring news cycle with this administration. So they're kind of like, I think in their heart of hearts, they almost, even though they couldn't outwardly say it, and they really have a bias, and like, you know, they do not like Trump whatsoever. I think they might want him to win because they could have something to talk about. It would be much more entertaining, bring a lot more ratings back to CNN, bring a lot more ratings back to just various networks. So I could see that point of it as well. So there was a lot of things that went down today, and like almost every topic got brought up, you know. And I think Trump held his own. I think Biden, he did pretty good for what I think the bar is so low for Biden, so that whenever it's easier for him to clear it, you know. So I think he did pretty well. He stumbled on a couple things, but overall I think he did pretty well. So if you haven't checked it out, I think you should just go back and watch it. There's a lot we could take away from it. The next debate's probably not going to be for a few months, but it was a good way to kind of start the political season as we get into it. I mean, Trump still doesn't even have his vice president named. It's going to come out eventually who it's going to be. I don't even know. I don't even know if I have a who I would recommend. You know, I haven't been thinking about that much, and who I think he's going to pick. I don't know. I mean that's a good question, but that hasn't even been named. And there's also the potentiality. I mean, I could see Biden somehow, something happening and him kind of falling out of the race, and somebody else, you know, from California, a governor from California, swooping in and kind of running with it. I think that would bring a lot bigger possibility of the Democrats winning if that were to happen. If Newsom jumped in and kind of took hold of it, you know, and I'm sure he's just drooling for that to happen, you know, in that possibility, you know, because he, you know, I mean, I kind of like Newsom. I mean, just like he is an Obama-esque kind of person, that he is just very likable, like just him as a person, and just him like kind of the way, and maybe not the way he governs, you know, because but like I think he has that attractiveness, you know, that it would be give Trump a lot more run for his money if he were to swoop in. But that is what to happen. I mean, what to come, you know, what to come, whatever that means. But who knows what is going to kind of play out as we get further down this and get closer to the election. But it's certainly, I think it's going to be a good one. It's going to be very definitive on the direction that this country is going to head, whoever wins. So stay tuned, and we will get into it more and more. I'm thankful that you all jumped in. You know, as you start seeing, I cannot even talk towards the end of this. I think it's just because I get kind of antsy, you know. But I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all in the next one. And we will end. All right. Thank you all for being with me.